Our final speaker for CCR is Michael Lewiecki, man who needs no introduction. And he's going to talk about new and emerging treatments for osteoporosis.
Well, we have some pretty good medications for osteoporosis now, but perhaps they could be better. On average, we can reduce fracture risk by about 50% with our current armamentarium of medicines. At the very best, with zoledronic acid, we can reduce vertebral fractures by 70%. Teriparatide reduces non-vertebral fractures by 53%, and hip fractures were reduced by 51% with lendinate. Fortunately or unfortunately, the coupling of bone resorption and formation continues with treatment. So that limits its therapeutic effectiveness. So when you're reducing bone resorption with an antiresorptive agent, you're also reducing bone formation. And when you're increasing bone formation with an anabolic agent, the one we have is teriparatide, you're also increasing bone resorption. The holy grail of osteoporosis therapy would be an agent that might increase bone formation and reduce bone resorption at the same time. And there are agents being developed that appear to be able to do that. No matter how good medications, they're not going to work if patients don't take them, and we still have a major problem with long-term adherence to therapy. The administration is somewhat complex with oral bisphosphonates, and a lot of patients have trouble getting that right. There are ongoing safety concerns with all of these medicines, and people are particularly frightened by bisphosphonates right now. And cost varies widely, but some drugs are prohibitively expensive for patients and sometimes for the health plans that they belong to. But there are certainly opportunities. As we get a better understanding of the pathogenesis of osteoporosis and the regulators of bone remodeling at the molecular level, it's giving us possible new targets for intervention. Some of them may uncouple completely or partially the bone resorption and formation phases of bone remodeling. We're developing more convenient dosing regimens with longer dosing intervals and more convenient ways to take medication. The hope is that by doing this that we might be able to improve adherence to therapy. Perhaps we could have greater reduction of fracture risk and a more favorable balance of benefit and risk. And as more of these drugs are out longer, more will become generic, and hopefully that will drive prices down. It isn't easy developing new drugs, and even using the ones we have is a challenge. I think perception-wise, there's widespread distrust by the public of established institutions. Basically, they don't trust pharmaceutical companies. They don't trust drug companies. I don't think they trust us as much as 20 years ago. And there's massive fear of side effects from widespread media exposure about rare possible events that may be causally related, maybe not, with medications. In the marketplace, what we're seeing is that instead of what we had expected with the aging of the that osteoporosis would be diagnosed more often, more patients would be treated to reduce fracture risk. The osteoporosis market is actually shrinking. There are fewer patients being tested for osteoporosis, fewer patients being treated. And ultimately, I think we run the risk that the risk of fractures is going to start rising in society. There are financial concerns with the high cost of drug development. It costs about $1 billion to get a new osteoporosis drug to marketplace. So when patients, and we all complain about the high price of new drugs, we have to be aware that it's astoundingly expensive to develop a new drug, and it's not going to be done at all unless a drug company believes it can recoup its investment and make a little bit of profit. There are ethical concerns with IRBs with